right, so let's talk a little bit about hypothesis. We're going to be using the if-then statement format, and which is kind of mathematical as well. And just to review really quick, we went over observations and questions so far for the scientific method. Observation is when you see something, I have a question. Why do people look over their left shoulder when they tell a lie? Or it could be anything. It could be, why does gas get released when I mix vinegar with baking soda? It could be any question you have in the world. Then any observation you have in the world, and then you should have a question. Some people have no questions when they observe something. They're like, and everything, that's weird, that's interesting. They just see stuff and they glaze over it. It takes it's scientific thinking, and it takes a scientist to look at something and be like, I wonder why that happens, and not just accept it at face value. So once you do that, then you move on to the hypothesis stage. Hypothesis is after you've made an observation, after you ask yourself a question, then you start to formulate a hypothesis. Now, a hypothesis has two main parts. Well, there's an independent variable, and there's also the dependent variable. Now, the independent variable goes with your if statement, if. And that would be our cause. What causes something else to happen? Okay? The dependent variable depends on your cause. So the dependent variable nothing would ever happen unless the cause is introduced into your equation. For example, baking soda, it's sitting there. It does nothing. It has a boring life. Wah, wah, wah. Until the independent variable, which is the cause, causes the dependent variable to have a reaction. So this is, I'm going to jump ahead of myself here. This is your then statement. And this would be your effect. Or what happens when you take the vinegar and you mix it with the baking soda. Okay, so in this situation, vinegar, the independent variable would be vinegar mixed with baking soda, and then the effect would be gas is released. Gas is released, and that's the fun part, okay? All right, so here's an example, and this example I think is on your homework. If not, you have an extra example. All right, chocolate may cause pimples. You're wondering, as you get older, you start getting pimples. Every time I eat extra chocolate, I wake up with pimples. I wonder if that's just random chance. Deep thinking about this, because I don't like pimples. It ruins my social status. Oh no, someone's looking at me. Oh no. So you're thinking deeply about this. This is important to you. This is science. Okay? Chocolate may cause pimples. Now, we are going to write a hypothesis, an if-then statement. So the very first thing you're going to write after you make this observation, you ask yourself a question, does chocolate actually cause pimples? Okay, so the very next thing you're going to do is write a statement starting with if. If I remove chocolate, what's the very next thing? Then pimples will disappear. That is a hypothesis with an if-then statement. All right, we all know that the best way to remove pimples is clearly to take this blue crystal and rub it on your face. Magical. See that? I could do a 30-minute infomercial explaining why this is the crystal that everyone needs to make their lives completely and utterly better. No, but I won't do that. Infomercials are so boring. Sorry if you do infomercials. More power to you. keep selling those blue crystals. Anyway, that's hypothesis testing, and without further ado, you guys can get going on your worksheet.